I just gave almost 10 tubes of blood. I never felt lightheaded like this before. I gave blood a lot before. I've never ever felt like this. And my hands and my head feels like I got them snail suckers, them things that go around and they slimy. They look like worms, but they're not, and they attach to your skin. They show on TV, and they suck, suck, suck. That's what it feel like. Like I'm just being ate up. And like they take it more and more and more, but I can't see them. Shit's fucking crazy, man. I remember when I was younger, my granddad told me that I was giving blood at the blood bank, they call it. But I never seen myself giving blood there. Only time I went to the bank, the blood bank, I was there for other stuff, running around or participating in things or having fun. I don't ever remember giving blood. I remember one day he showed me some blood in his house and he said people were watching. We were in the kitchen or they were there. And he said he only gave them one drop. So just imagine somebody helping themselves to all of it. Ugh. And I don't think he ever specified. He said some stuff why, but never went into a whole bunch of details. I do remember there being little stuff like onions or like different food products people eat. And I think it was supposed to do something for you. I forgot what he said mine was. And I remember him saying something about Wiccans too. All right, somebody's eating me the fuck alive. Oh, shit ain't no joke. And I used to date Jesse James, who's tatted on my chest. His mom is an intelligence teacher. And even though we're beefing, her name is Lori Gardner. She stays in Jonesboro, Georgia. And she stays up the street from the house we own that my mom has all her kids the owner as off of Point South Parkway. I can't disclose her location though, and I don't even think it would even matter because if I did, she'll probably just get protection, and anybody who try to come around her, something will prevent them from being able to get close to her anyway. So, from what I've learned. But anyway, she communicated to my third eye that when I get blood work done with these band-aids, that I should immediately take them off. She did that, told me that when I was at the CSL plasma. Now I lost a baby by Jesse James and I was pregnant by him. We only messed around one time because the second time we did, I had messed with this other guy, but I didn't do it to cheat on him. It was just a form of getting money. The guy was really large, very, very large, and he knocked my walls out of place. So when I messed with Jesse the second time, we messed around, but I liked him so much. I didn't care that it didn't feel like his didn't fit. I just loved the fact that we was connected. And when I asked him why he stopped, at first he didn't want to say nothing at first, and eventually he said because my dick did not grip to your pussy, and that's what he said. And we never messed around again, even though we stayed together. And I don't even think he messed with anybody else, outside of what I've did. And eventually we got really close and he became attached to me. He wasn't so attached to me in the beginning, but eventually he did because when he went to jail and all this other stuff. But I guess just all the stuff he was offended by with me, he came home and then I had a ring on my hand trying to be cute. And, with Jesse being a dropout college student, we pay attention to family values and stuff. So he took offense to it. And plus, his mom seen me in a car the first year I was messing with Sean at McDonald's when she was selling her weight loss juice diet stuff. And I didn't have my glasses on, but I knew it was her. She looked at me. She didn't say anything, but I talked to Jesse probably about a couple days after that, maybe a week later. And even though he never said anything then, eventually on down the line, he said something about that's my mom. If she sees something, of course she gonna tell me. But he's never actually confirmed that Lori Gardner told him that she see me with Sean, and I've been with Sean, dealing with him since then. 2000, the end of 2019, the end of 2018, and the hospital I think is responsible for who took my child's life with Jesse. I got pregnant the first time my period went off, and that's the one that I knew that I could confirm over the one with Sean because my period went off for about 14 days before I went to go drop my nephew off, having an argument with my sister who stayed off of Terra Boulevard at the time on Mount Zion Parkway. And before I got to her house, my I started having really bad stomach aches, really bad pains down there, like everyone else who I witnessed have a miscarriage, and my mom. And then when I got back to the house, barely being able to drive, I got up to stand and fell to the ground and was crawling. That happened to me a total of 2 times within this last 6 years. This happened to me when I was dealing with Clarence Gamble in Erie, Pennsylvania, and this happened with me with Jesse Gardner. It didn't happen when I learned from a psychic that I was pregnant with Sean's baby. And be honest with you, I was still having a menstrual, but I was still having a menstrual with my daughter, Kima, who is now about to be 17 in February. I had it for a total of 3 or 4 months before I finally went off, and it is hereditary in the family. So, but me being 40 now, I don't think that that's the case, nor do I understand my body because of everything that's been going on with me. But I do recall having sex with Justin, who I am still talking to now. We just reconnected after messing around once, and I left him alone. Now we are reconnected after 5 years, and I messed with him in the van, dealing with this other guy's Marquise, who I was talking to because Sean left me for an older woman who had more money. Even though our relationship didn't consist of me giving him money, she just was taking care of him, and he left me. And I don't know I was pregnant. And anyway, I messed with Justin in the back of my van that Sean didn't know that I had. And I think I ended up selling the van before me and Sean reconnected. And Justin is large too, and it's crazy because he half white. I keep meeting these half white boys that be large like that. But he messed with me, and he popped something, and I was squirting out blood. It was a puddle of blood. And my friend Marquise must have knew I was going through something, called me. I had already been dealing with him for a minute now. And by then, and he told me to come pick him up. And I told him I was doing something. He said he didn't care. He wanted me to come pick him up now. He just did not care what was going on. So as much as Justin was sexy and had everything, oh, he was perfect. He still is. But because I had a mental connection and emotional connection with Keys, who was also sexy, brown skin, keep himself up, nice shape, fit, just like all the rest of them. But he was perfect, paid for everything, our rooms, things I wanted to do, rather it was for sex or not. I like guys that can do those kind of things for me. Yes? It's Jennifer. Can you give me like 3 minutes? Okay. Thank you. So anyway, at first I didn't understand it. I thought it was just something going on, and I overlooked it. I went and dropped Justin off after feeding him. I ate the rest of his food because I was so hungry. And I went and picked up Marquise, and didn't know what was going on with me, didn't care. And I asked Marquise for some Percocets. He gave me some, and then we had sex too in the van rather than going into the house. We were just, I had a big van that had a bed in the back, but I couldn't pull the bed down, so I just lifted it up, and it was just really big backspace, really big van. Messed around, then it got even worse. We just kept going. He told me to stay off my feet for the night, and I did. And the next day there was no blood. So I dealt with that for a couple years, and I was slightly in denial because I didn't understand it, even though at times I did. So it was emotional. I know I went off to the deep end, but yes, I gave a lot of blood today. And I am really tired. I'm showing all my stretch marks right now, but oh well. Crazy. But that's what happened. And after I messed with Keys, uh, right before he got out, because his girl called him, he wanted me to drop him off back home, but I was scared because he stayed off of Terra Boulevard, and I didn't want to get pulled over for not having a license. Of course, you're more bolder when you know and you're going to go pick somebody up for a venture, but when it's over with, that's when reality hit that you're taking a chance, especially if you don't have no license. So anyway, right before when he got out of the car to walk to the street to go meet his girlfriend at the street, so she went over, I stayed. Um, I seen somebody in my remote viewing of the eyes, looked like a monkey man, come out of the trees, and he struck me in my back. And he came as soon as Marquise got out of the van, and I cleaned the blood up. And I felt like he was there as like a ritual or something cult like, because of the significance. I later realized it was because of the significance of the situation. I still don't know why though, but he definitely came right away. And from my memory, what I'm getting right now, usually when certain people pop up, they can use their value or like face value, or they can sacrifice themselves to like make something go away, or just that moment, like they implant something in their memory to be able to hide it, or they'll use aggression to scare a person to finding out the truth, like they'll use their face value. I can't recall how it go, but I think that's what happened.